Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Grants and Awards Committee meeting. I would like to ask Rodney to do an opening prayer, karakia, to open our meeting, please.
I'll do the English version because I've practiced the Māori version. Seesaw winds from the west, seesaw winds from the south. Bring calm breezes over the land, bring calm breezes over the sea. And let the red tip dawn come, with a touch of frost, a sharpened ear, and promise of a glorious day. Behold, we live.
Awesome. Thank you, Rodney. We've got one apology from Roy Wilson. And we have no late items except that. Oh, can we move and accept I'm moving for the apologies, Jamie and Rodney, thank you. And we've got no late items, no. Conflicts of interest, so is that, shall we do both the conflicts for both the community grant and the sports? Yep, okay. So under the community grants, I just want to address maybe a perceived conflict of interest. For the netball application, it was my sister that has done wrote the application. However, it's critical to understand neither she nor I stand to benefit personally from its approval. If it is approved, the primary aim is to benefit the wider community. Given this, I believe I can contribute to the discussion without compromising impartialness. And then also regarding the Kiwiana application for the project at the Village Green, I'm the appointed, no, I sat on the Kiwiana committee, and I actually did get one of the quotes from the artist, but I haven't done the application. I don't have a monetary interest or vested interest. It's the sole purpose is to enhance the community's well-being and benefit the broader community. Therefore, I feel confident in participating in that discussion. Yeah, so that's me. So has anyone else got anything they want to declare on both of these agendas?
Yes, I do. In the grants and awards, Te Rōpū Manaaki Aroha Inc. I'm the secretary.
Cool. So are you going to participate or?
Well, I wasn't the one that filled in the application or sent it. It was our finance manager who did that. And I think she put in a no. So I'll say no. Unless you want.
No, it's totally up to you. It's about what's perceived. So you've declared how it's seen. So yeah, I'm comfortable if you're comfortable. Anyone else?
I should probably declare like the Pissons and Picnics Festival. I'm actually not anything to do with it. I hope. But the last, what was going to be the Pissons and Picnics Festival, it turned into a truck and ute show, which I was the main organizer in that. So kind of don't see it as perceived. I'm not actually to do with it now, but it could be perceived because I did help organize the last truck show. And also the Kiwiana and another one, Kiwi. My partner's on the development board, so maybe that could be perceived. But unfortunately, in small little towns, we all know lots of different people, so I don't. Yeah, I've got no financial interest and nothing to gain from anything. So no, just to note there. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, team. Confirmation of our minutes. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Jamie and Rodney. And then we're going to mix it up. We're going to do the rural accountability first. So I'll hand it over to Nikki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The community grant accountability reports for this round 2023-24. Ōtorohanga District Council established a community grant fund through the long-term plan as a contestable fund for community groups and organisations with an annual allocation of 100,000 and a maximum allocation per application of $5,000. When a community group or group is successful and they do receive funding, part of that, the criteria of getting funding is to write a project accountability report to tie off what they said they would do to show us that it has an impact. It's a condition of the fund that these accountability forms must be complete before an applicant can apply again. It also shows us how much of an impact and the change that it can help with an organisation. We have 5 completed accountability reports attached to this report, and they are from the following groups: Ōtorohanga Tennis Club, Te Hokinga Mai ki te Nihi Nui o Te Wambarai, Ōtorohanga Sports Club, Ōtorohanga Carriers Association, and Toi Arena. It's also, I'd like the committee to note that we do have other accountability reports that we do have in the wings waiting to come in front of you, but we have such a full agenda that we're going to sort of like address those in time. These 5 accountability reports are the ones that affect the discussions and deliberations today. So they tie off so we can move forward, and they've actually got applications with us today. So I'm happy to take the report as read and pass to Madam Chair.
So we'll just take the report as read and have a mover and a seconder. Yep. Maxine and Rodney, thank you. Okay, then we'll move into item 13, the Sport New Zealand Rural Travel Fund. So I'll hand back to Nikki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Sport New Zealand Rural Travel Fund is a partnership between Sport New Zealand and Ōtorohanga District Council to assist the development of junior sports in rural communities by providing a travel subsidy targeted at young people aged between 5 and 19 years. The annual funding made available to the Ōtorohanga District is $9,500 across round 1 and round 2 of the 23-24 year. In the previous round of 23-24, we had 1 eligible applicant and they were awarded $700. Due to the underutilisation of this Rural Sport Travel Fund in round 1, we worked with Sport Waikato representative Robbie Matthews, who's with us today, to trial a relaxation of the application criteria to allow individual players to apply for the fund. This has resulted in an increased amount of applicants this round. The rest of the criteria remains intact as previously agreed. Robbie's here today to support the deliberation process and answer any questions as needed. I'd like to just speak to a bit of a mistake by myself in the report. So there were 10 eligible applicants that have requested a total of $16,950, not the $9,950 as written in the report. So that's an amendment, and the spreadsheet that's in front of you has those updated figures, so that is correct in front of you now. The requested total of $16,950 for this round 2 of 23-24 is not within the available funds. So after we deduct reasonable advertising costs, as approved by Sport New Zealand, this leaves $8,325 in the pool for these current applicants. I'd just like to pass to Madam Chair.
Thanks, Nikki. We are going to move into public excluded because some of the applications are, we're discussing personal stuff. So Can I have a mover and a seconder to move into public excluded? Rodney and Maxine? Oh. Okay, so we're moving into public excluded. Thank you. So, Nikki, do you want to talk to the, thanks.
Recording in progress.
So here, so rowing's a good example, so we needed to open it up so that if you were a child or a participant that was living here but had to go to Cambridge for rowing, that
Yeah.
what the
Welcome back to our meeting, and I'll hand over to Nikki to summarise where we got to with the funding.
Kia ora, thank you, Madam Chair and committee. Ōtorohanga Sports Club Incorporated, 1,100. Te Neo Kamoe Kete, $256.25. QQ School, $933.50. Ōtorohanga College, $1,401.25. Ōtorohanga South School, $934.50. Tiffany Te Wao, $500. Kane Wharepuri, $500. Lucy Marshall, $500. Hawhia Moana District Sport, $2,000. Coast Rugby, Football and Sports Club, $200. Which brings us to the total of $8,000, $8,326.
Thanks, Nikki. Just want to point out that the amount of, Nikki's already done this at the beginning of our meeting, but the amount of applications amounted to 16,950, and we only had 8,325 available. So as a result, we've had to do a lot of partial funding, but we hope that all the applicants can engage in their own fundraising to make up the shortfall and get our tamariki playing sports. And now I've just got to find the resolution. So the resolution is that the Grants and Awards Committee approves the applications listed below on behalf of the Rural Travel Fund funded by Sports New Zealand and discounts. I've moved on to second place, Jamie and Maxine. Thank you. And now we are going on to our community grants. And I'll pass over to Nikki.
Kia ora. The Ōtorohanga Community Grants Fund consideration of applications for round 2 of 23-24 fund for community groups and organisations which aid the not-for-profit sector to create strong social, environmental, economic and cultural base and to meet local needs. The annual funding for the Ōtorohanga Community Grants Fund is $100,000, which is awarded in 2 rounds each financial year. In the previous round, which was round 1 of 23-24, 14 applicants were granted a total of $53,036.69. As a note, one previously successful applicant has returned unspent funds of $319.51, which increases the amount available in this round. 19 applicants in this final round, round 2, have requested a total of $80,847. This exceeds the amount available in this round. As a note, as we did in the previous accountability, there was a high volume of applications within this round, and so the full set of accountability reports for previous projects will not be presented at this meeting, and it was only the ones that are pertinent to this meeting that have been put to the committee. Due to the high volume of applications within this round, it can be really useful for the committee to reflect on whether partially funding an applicant is the best way to support their work. Partial funding requires a non-profit or group to spend further significant time seeking out other funding avenues, which can also be overstretched and exhausted. In some instances, it may be more helpful to decline an application this round in order to fully fund it the next one. Something to take into account during your deliberations. We also have a request from one successful applicant who has requested to apply to this round and roll over their previously successful grant amount to combine it with the successful funds from their last application, which was in round 2 of 22-23. This would enable the applicant to fill a funding shortfall and complete a large project that is costed beyond the grant maximum of $5,000. If approved by the committee, this will set a precedent and will require the application criteria to be amended. The original application, and it was attached to this report, giving you a full picture of the situation and the proposal. The amount available that we have in this round is $47,282.82. And I'll pass back to Madam Chair.
Thanks, Nikki. So firstly, I think we need to make a decision about carrying over funds. So I would like to open it up to the floor for your thoughts on this, because I know what mine are.
Are we legally allowed? Are we allowed to do it?
This is a council funding thing, so we made the policy, so I'm sure if we wanted to do that, we could, but to me, it's opening a can of worms.
I don't want to see the presidency. Nothing.
I would think the only time you carry those if we had more money, so there's not enough applicants that we've got as well, so I don't think we should. The only thing I'm thinking, I assume you're talking about the museum. So are they just hoping to keep going for the next couple of years till they got the 20K or? And my question on that one was, isn't it a council building the museum? So why are we fixing it?
So it's, I'm pretty sure,
Maybe I
and
think
I'll
that's-
get corrected if I'm wrong by staff. It's like our building in town, museum in town, grounds, maybe at the outside of the building, but the inside of the building is not council's responsibility, renovations and stuff. And that's part of the, I would say the lease that they, it's part of the conditions. So no, it's not up to council to do the renovations. Maxine, have you got any thoughts on setting a precedent and letting them keep money in their kitty?
Personally, if it hasn't.
I just leave mine on. What's that?
If it hasn't been done before, I think we should leave it as is.
Cool, so we need to make a resolution for that, do we, Kyle? Okay. So the grants, so I'll get a mover and a seconder for the grants and awards committee declines the request by the Kawhia Museum to retain the grant awarded in round 2, 2022-23 of $5,000 for their foyer and entrance refurbishment and apply to round 2. Yep, so we're declining them to apply for round 2 because of 23-24 for consideration of additional funding for the same project. So can I have a mover and a seconder for that? Jamie and Rodney, thank you. Okay, and then I hand back to Nikki to go through each application. Thanks, Nikki.
First application we have is from the Assembly of God Harvest Church. They are requesting costs for their youth group, running costs. What will it actually pay for? It's food supplies, cost of outings, events, team merchandise, and a portable speaker. They are a first-time applicant. And they are requesting $5,000. The average that your initial draft scores came to was $2,279.10 towards the $5,000.
Thanks, Nikki. I'll open it up to the floor, but before I do, just, could you just remind me how many youth that are on in their youth group? Or can
Great
anyone-
question. I'll just dive
Yeah,
into the application.
And I'll just open it up to the floor for thoughts on this.
When I read the application, some of the money they've already spent. So, and I understand that we're supposed to be not giving money retrospect to what they spent. So that's why I didn't hold them out. Because they've already, there's a round 1 and a round 2 in their application. But I'm just wondering now, does that make the whole application void because they're asking for something they've already spent? That's part of the criteria that you're not supposed to ask. So is that? Might sound a bit harsh, but well, it's quite harsh, I suppose, but yeah, you're not supposed to come along and ask for money. Well, I understand it anyway, if you've already spent the money, you've spent before a project going forward. So that's why I cut my back to just fund only the round 2 side of it, but I mean, just wondering now if that makes the whole thing null and void.
Point, Rodney. Did anyone else pick that up? Okay, Nikki's gonna look into that. I only gave them on my one $1,000, and the reason being is for me, there's other youth groups in town that don't have never, I mean, this is a new thing, so, and we've gotta be, quite, it's a hard job doing what we do, because we don't have the money for everyone, sadly, as much as we would like it, so. But if Nikki's gonna look into that one, maybe we can just move on to the next one, Nick, while you, and do you want me to read that while you're still looking?
Jump to the next one.
And you, and
Bring
then,
back in. There we go. We have the Ōtorohanga Christmas Club. The project is Christmas decorations for the Ōtorohanga Main Street Township. This will happen between November and January. It's to pay for a lot of raw materials. So we've got plywood, paint, ribbons, lights, traffic cone stars, Christmas ephemera. They are a first-time applicant. They are asking for $2,961.53, and your average score came out at $2,780.76. I'll pass back to you.
thanks, Nikki. I'll open it up to the floor. Firstly, I gave them the full amount because I think it's fantastic that they decorate our town, and it's all, like all the groups in our community, volunteers, beg, borrow, recycle, but thoughts, please.
I know I didn't give them the full amount. Reason being, recycle a few things, they will be had lights and whatnot, bells, baubles, those kind of things can be used on a yearly basis. Don't have to buy brand new all the time.
No, they are.
No.
They're all in my shed. They're definitely getting reused, they're getting repainted and, so they're building up a stock of things which. That's filling up that shed.
Jamie?
I don't give anyone the full amount, I always take a percentage off the top and then we're back towards, whether or not they can do it without, the money, but I think it's a great idea. Christmas always brings a bit of cheer to our town and I think we need to do something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Support
that,
the
yes.
local.
So, back to what Rodney said, they definitely reuse and remodel everything. I think it's just about adding to that collection. Like last year, I know that, they did a thing at Mitre 10 where people could buy a set of lights and leave it there in a box for them. So they have come up with really cool initiatives too, because, yeah, they haven't had any money in the past. Okay, so we averaged out that, like Nikki said, it 2, 7, so 8, so it's not really that far off. So we can go back. Yeah, and if we go back to the youth group, I think the misunderstanding might be that they've been going for 6 months, so they've supplemented it, but they haven't paid for anything that they've listed in that thing.
I just jump in as well. So, we're talking about 15 rangatahi, 15 children, and as far as I can see, and the costings are based on, so, rather than them applying for retrospective costs, they're using the costs that they have already done as a basis for what they feel that the upcoming work will be. So it's a kind of an experiential cost, as it were, rather than paying for something that's already happened. It's figuring out what's likely to happen in the future.
Say it with the youth group.
Correct,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Personally, I think they'd be able to cut down on a few outings. As well as bring a plate.
Yeah.
It'll cut down on a lot of the costs. I just donating some clothes makes a world of difference for kids. And the outings, yeah, a bit much.
Cool, so are we happy with the average? Or should we just go through them all and then tweak it?
Should we tweak them as we go? a
Yeah,
little bit,
okay,
then just
so
come back again?
Tweak them as we go. Okay, so the youth group. 2?
Yeah.
2?
Yep.
That's- yeah.
And we've talked to the Christmas club, so what sort of figure would the average was 278076. They were asking for 296153.
Should we just leave the average for now, and just the ones we drop, and then we can come back and put some up?
Okay.
There we go.
You sure can.
Point out something there, Madam Chair, and that this may just help you hold some thoughts in as you go through. So you may have noticed, with your averages, thank you, with your averaged amounts, you can see on page 3, the total has come in at 45,857. You have available 47,000. So you are under based on your averages, but there may be some discussion, particularly if something has come in particularly low that one or more of you feel should have been higher. Thank you.
Thanks, Nadia. So hand back to Nikki.
We have Janie Tuhoro. Her project is Small Town Footprints, and it's a printing of historical stories booklet and a launch event. It will be paying for booklet printing, event launch, graphic designer, and copy editor. She's a first-time applicant, and she is applying for $1,800. Your average came out at $1,575.
Oh, 1800, because on our one it said
It's
$2,984
in the application. It's here.
Ah. funding, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, no, I messaged, sorry, that's my mistake, because I emailed Vicky about that. So it's all good.
So it's 2,000.
Yeah, no, it was an error. It was an
Oh.
error. It was in the application, the correct amount. It's just a typo. So, yeah, opening to the floor. Are we happy with the average amount of 15,715?
I had it at 0, because I just thought it was the family history book. That's why I read it. Thought, if you want to write your own family history book,
think
good on you.
It's family history, but it's also history of our community and the way it was. So it intertwines with a lot of our people's history. That's how I saw it. Opening up the floor to.
You might find some fucker up there.
So we're happy to leave that at 15,715, yeah, yeah, Rodney?
Obviously, I was the only one that had nothing, 'cause otherwise the average would be so low. Maybe I don't think it, maybe I don't look back as much as I should.
Okay.
Look forward.
Back to Nikki,
We have Kapia Museum.
so
So we have
just
three.
take that one out.
We have Central Motocross Incorporated, and it's an event that happens one day in March 2025. And it's to pay for an electronic live timing system, so every rider is accurately scored. They're a first-time applicant, and they are requesting $4,000. Your average came out at 1,500.
Thanks, Nikki. Opening it up to the floor. Thoughts?
I didn't give them the full amount, only because it's a personal thing, motorbikes kill people. And so it's a bit scary, but, I support, everyone's decision.
Maxine? Thoughts?
Not really, yeah, I'm the same as Jane, I'm not a fan of motorbikes. But they are a first time. Question, are they able to carry on this event if they don't get it?
We've had it in the past. They just haven't done the electronic timing. This is a precision timing thing, I think.
That's
if I
right, so,
read it correctly.
what they're requesting is it brings it up in a professional.
Okay. But then they do spend quite a bit on prizes and stuff like that too, because they take entry fees, so. Yeah, I mean, we've got an average at 1,500. So is everyone happy with that? Rodney?
I didn't give any. So you must be the only one.
Maybe, I
but
I
only
actually
'cause-
gave them more, I gave them 2.
Oh, that's fine, only because I was just thinking, yeah, I read it and I thought, well, they're giving away all these prizes, maybe they should cut back on the prizes. But it's cool that someone's having an event, so if we can support it more, I was kind of more listening to the discussion that we're having around here, to be fair. Maybe I was sitting on the fence.
So the fact that they're gonna be having it one day in March, as long as it's not during the cocoa round.
So, yeah, we
Yeah.
just leave it there.
Yeah, so we'll just leave that average and then pass back to Nikki.
Next, we have Ōtorohanga Tennis Club Incorporated. Their project is running costs and maintenance, and it will pay for a land lease, mower, and tennis net posts, new posts. They have been successful in other rounds. They received $2,000 for their land lease in round 2 of 22-23, and $5,000 for a ball machine in round 2 of 21-22. They are requesting $5,000 their project, and your average came out at $2,125.
Thanks, Nikki. I'll open it up to the floor. But thoughts, Jamie, we'll go around to you. Okay, we'll start with Maxine.
No, I don't have any.
Rodney?
I was just wondering, because it was a little bit, a question was asked about someone else with the rates rebate, because it's Māori land and it's recreational, but I know that they lease it off. Yeah. But is that one of those ones that can be eligible for the rates? Because there was another organisation too, wasn't it?
Yeah, there is further down.
Yeah. And I was wondering what the answer for that was.
Not as far as I'm aware. I can speak to the other one deeply, but for this one, particularly not surprising.
It'd be a very similar situation.
Could be. But the thing is that sometimes, well, a lot of the time, the actual landlord, so that would be the trust, pays the rates and then they just pass it on. So it's not like the tennis club can apply for the rates rebate because they're not the owner. It would have to be the trust.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
Yeah,
would the trust
and
be
then some-
eligible and then they're not
yeah.
going to charge the tennis fee on it?
The issue with that, if I may, Madam Chair, is that we will have no control over what the landlord does and doesn't pass on. So yes, they may very well apply for a rates rebate as the landowners, and they could. Whether or not they pass that on is actually beyond our control.
That's right.
Did you have anything on that one, Jamie?
Too technical.
No. So I actually only gave them $1,000 because, and I know you're allowed to keep applying and there's nothing wrong with that, but because we're so oversubscribed, we've got first time clubs in that are applying for things that benefit the same amount or if not more sports people or groups. So I actually, did it quite low, but I'm happy to leave it at the average if everyone else is.
Yeah.
So I hand back to Nikki. We'll just see where it falls at the end.
Next, we have the Ōtorohanga Netball Club. The project is club maintenance, and it involves the water blasting of their courts. They are a first-time applicant, and they are requesting $5,000 for this work, and your average came out at $3,750.
Thanks, Nikki. I'll open it up and start with Maxine. Or, no, we'll start with Rodney.
I think they should get the full amount. Yeah. To be fair. I can look it up.
I don't know if all the blasting's gonna save those courts, but it will be an improvement.
Oh, I've got to try, I mean, if they have the new ceiling on them, I
Well,
think.
Sherman must somehow, it's not just a direct water blast, so Sherman.
No.
A special water blast, they do it, blow the pits. I could go up there water blast, but I thought, yes.
Excellent.
I haven't been up to the courts in years, but I agree with Rodney.
Could we change that one to the full amount, please? And then I'll hand back to you.
Next, we have the Ōtorohanga Squash Club. They are requesting automatic ball machine maintenance, replacements of parts, batteries, charger, and labour costs. They're a first-time applicant, and they are requesting $500. Your average actually came out higher at.
That's what we can clean.
Yeah.
So I
Everybody
open it,
did the
yeah,
same.
I'll open it up to the floor, but I suggest we put it back to the full amount of $500 that they requested. We don't want to set a precedent that we give more than you request for. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay, back to you, Nikki.
Next, we have Toi Arena, and the project is the food bank running costs, and it would cover their annual water bill, their lease and possible petrol for their delivery costs. They were successful in a previous round, which was round 2 of 22-23, where they received $2,000 for their water bill and their land lease and also for petrol. They are requesting $5,000 and your average came out at $3,000.
Thank you. Cool. I'll open it up to the floor.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So,
I'd like to give them the full map, but I must know where the water's going. It's a lot of water.
They've got some, I think they've got some gardens out the back, but then maybe their water isn't gonna be as much because they're not planted at the moment, so.
We did have a conversation about that, and it was, they increase their water use, because of the gardens and also washing. So they've got a new washing machine, and they wash it.
And also, I think, Nikki is gonna maybe look into and work with them about maybe talking to the trust that owns the land and seeing if they can do something with them. See if they're eligible anyway for a rates rebate.
It's possible we've started to have those conversations, but, again,
Yeah.
going back to that point.
Yep. But it's more, I was just more, we're aware of that there could be possibilities, I'm not saying definite. But so we're happy with the average of £3,000, so we'll move on to the next one with Nikki.
Next up, we have Unplugged Arcade. It is a series of monthly board game social nights. Their project would pay for board games, pamphlet printing, storage boxes, website design and website hosting. They are a first-time applicant and they're requesting $2,107.46. Your average came out at $1,201.86.
Thanks, Nikki. Flora? Thoughts?
That's not what I gave their money to. I thought it's a new club starting out, well, don't they have membership, or they normally get.
Because I think it's aimed at getting people out of the house to something that wouldn't normally go
Yeah.
to one, and board games getting, like it says, unplugged, which is really important in this day and age too. And I've seen a post and there's actually younger ones that go to, which made my heart sing because too many of our young ones aren't unplugged at all. But yeah, so I gave them more than that, but I'll open it to the floor and see how you guys feel.
I'm happy with the average, but yeah, it's
Yes,
just kind of thinking. Explain a bit more. I think.
Okay, so back to you, Nick. Next up, we have the Ōtorohanga train station 100 years event, which is on a particular day, which is the 8th of June 24. The funds would go towards road closure, street performers, insurance, design and printed treasure maps, exhibition boards, advertising, stage and sound hire. They're a first-time applicant and they have requested $5,000. Your average came out at $2,550.
Thanks. Comments?
I was just a little bit concerned because Nikki said that workshop that they couldn't get public liability, so are they going to get council sign off to have them meet the criteria?
That is a great question. And we are currently investigating that.
But I don't think that's any reason to withhold the funding, because if the public liability doesn't come through, they can't have it, we get the money back. If it does come through and they haven't got funding, the event can't happen. So, oh, yeah, I mean, I gave them the full amount because I think if they can make this event happen, it will be a cool little event for our town or our district, because it will bring people in. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So yeah, I'll open up to the rest of you.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. However, the railway has a different connotation for me as Māori. So, although it is a celebration of 100 years, it's just a reminder of 100 years of broken promises. So it does have a different connotation for me, but I do believe it's a great event for our community and it will pull in people. So yeah, I'm happy to support whether it's the average, whether it's more money. But yeah. I'm the same when it comes to, history of the railways. I think I did 2,500 on mine. Only because it's the month of Matariki. And to have the road closed during Matariki month. might be a bit rough, even if it's only 4 days.
So the road closed is just from the back of this car park to just past the railway station.
Or that's all.
Yeah, that's, yeah, I was like, the road, yeah, yeah, because they can't even like if they decided they wanted to close from Maniapoto right around, that would be huge expense because that's a state highway. But because it's only a little bit of the street, the road, it's not gonna be, yeah, it's bigger cost.
100-year celebration for anything is a huge milestone. So I'm happy with it,
I just worry for me, the average amount is quite low. Like if you look at what the event and their figures is $11,000. They've applied for the maximum of 5. If they only get 2.5, they're not gonna be able to run the event. Yeah, no, just, yeah, okay,
I think,
I'll hand, oh, yeah.
in light of, like that, if they don't pass the public liability test, they have to go back and not have an event. I think they're being quite ambitious. They probably should have started this last year for 100 year, but anyway. But it's good to see an event happen in town, and I kind of think it's a little bit, all or nothing, sort of,
Yeah.
to make it happen. And I think from rumours I've heard, they're going to pare it back a little bit anyway. So it will be affordable, so it can happen otherwise. It's pretty ambitious to come up with 11K here until June. Yeah.
They can
No.
apply to, yeah, they can apply to other,
It's still ambitious, though, yeah. Unless someone's got their own personal funding to back it, but yeah. But, I've good on them, good on them for making the event happen, yeah.
so I'll hand that to you, Nikki, for the next one, and we'll keep tweaking and see where we land.
What did we land on here? So we just know the average or we're gonna get 5.
Sorry,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna go back to it, so, yeah.
Okay, next up we have Waikato Screen for a film workshop and film industry training. The funds would go towards a 2-day film workshop, which would be venue costs, tutors, creative film team, equipment, catering and marketing, with school engagement. They were previously successful in round 1 of 21-22. They got $4,260 for Waikato Screen to be established, so an establishment fee costs for them. In this round, they are requesting $5,000 towards their project, and you came out at an average of 1,250. Back to you.
Thanks, Nikki. I'll open it up to the floor. Jamie?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the average. I don't, I don't.
I'm happy with the average.
Right then?
My notes say Mayor's Task Force for Jobs should be funding it, because that's the area they're in. But, yeah. But that was my notes.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Nick, if I may, Madam Chair, I don't think this is targeted just towards youth, or is this particular project youth orientation? Sorry.
That's what I read.
To double check, I think I'll go into the application.
Sorry,
Plus support our career pathways to direct school engagement, but I will dip in. That's okay.
Okay, so we're all happy with the average on that one? Are you dipping into that, Nikki, or do you just want to move on to the next one?
If we move on to the next one, and I'll, as your work,
Yeah.
I'll
You-
dip in.
Yeah, so I'll hand it back to you for the next one.
Next, we have Te Hokinga Mai, ki te mihi mihi nui, Utiwa Marae. And it is for a marae water upgrade, and costs include a 25,000 litre tank and the connection to an existing bore to supply and install a pressure pump. They were previously successful in round one of 22-23, where they received $3,000 for their gardens, which included an amendment for a greenhouse, which was approved. For this application, they're requesting $5,000, and your average came out at 1,875. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. I'll open it up to the floor for thoughts on this one.
My thoughts were they haven't, well, I read it, they haven't spent the last fund yet. So I think they should finish one project first.
If I jump in there, they have completed their previous project, and they have returned to their accountability, so they're all square.
And the accountability, they said they can. wait
No, they
for
said, no, I think what they said is that their greenhouse was on back order.
So
Yeah,
they
so
have-
it's not on site, but it's ordered and paid for. So that's their accountability ticked off. Is that right? Do I
That's
understand that right?
correct, yeah, I mean, it might have arrived by now and they've put it together. But I'm pretty sure that one of them arrived and the parts were mixed up and they had to also return it, so there was a bit of a kerfuffle with delivery as well.
Cool.
No problem.
Thanks. Any other thoughts on that, team?
In saying that, I'm not sure if I should say something because Ōtorohanga Marae is part of our pare. So, pare o Waiwaia.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with that average because I actually was going to recommend they try again next time because they've been successful and we've got so oversubscribed for funds. But I'm more than happy if they get some, but then will they be able to? They won't be, yeah, they won't be able to carry it over to apply again. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, okay, I'll hand back to you, Nikki, for the next
No, but
one.
they just to clarify that, so they'd be better to have nothing this round, they miss out, then the
Yeah.
next one, they can get the whole 5,000.
If we can't give them the whole amount, yeah, that's how I sort of see it.
And just that water is so important, and you don't, I would hate to see them get a little bit this time and then not even be able to, eligible to apply for the whole fund, where they could actually apply for the whole fund and have reserves to be able to top it up to get the project done.
So
It's
how,
total and not on that. That's it.
If I may, just make two comments, Madam Chair. So, I think your conversation is probably accurate in terms of we're not going to apply next time. You will always run the risk that every round will be oversubscribed, so that's just something to, I guess, think about, and you may consider that if you have returning applicants that you said no to. And then back to your Waikato screen, question, Rodney, you're right, my apologies, it is, a youth orientated application that this one's for.
I'll just add to that, it's 2-day youth workshops guiding 20 youths in filmmaking techniques and approaches.
So, just in this, just say for instance, we gave the $875 their tank. So that wasn't enough, so they hand the funds back because it wasn't. So could then they apply the next round for the full amount because they've handed the funds fully back?
that's,
Yeah.
that just seems crazy to give it when we know they can't fulfill their project to hand it back to apply next time. It just seems
They
like
get more,
a lot of paper shuffling when Yeah.
But they can't, if they take their money and say spend it, they can't roll it over
No, they
to
can't.
the next time, whereas.
So that's, yeah.
It's one of those things, like, if they need the whole amount to make it happen.
That's why
It's like,
well, we'll go through
some of
the
them are
list.
nuts, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's right, yeah.
yeah, we'll go through the list because I mean, we're sitting with the 100-year celebration with not the full amount. And that could, you know, yeah, so I'll hand back to you, Nikki, we'll go on to the next one. We'll leave the average in there and then take it out.
We with the QQ School Social Committee, it's a school fundraising committee, and they're applying for a mobile tennis net and a divider net between their courts. They're a first-time applicant. They have requested $5,000 and your average came out at 3,750.
Thanks. I'll open it out to the floor and then I'll pass on. Happy with the average? Yeah, I'm happy with the average. I'll hand back to you, Nikki.
Next, we have Picnic and Pistons event. It's to pay for toilets, signs, music, mini carts, bouncy castle, and delivery pub and face painting. And it's an event that's booked for a day sometime in February 2025. They were previously successful in round 2 and got 3,500 for the Truck and Ute Festival. That was an amendment from Pistons Picnic, which was approved, and $3,644 for the Picnic and Pistons event in round 1 of 21-22. They're requesting $5,000 and your average came out at 4,000.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I think this is when it's for an event and it's a different event, I think maybe look at that a little bit differently from something else that is someone that is applying all the time. This is for the benefit of the whole community and district and outside people, but I'm happy with the average, if not more, but I'll pass over to you guys. With the average, the microphone's on.
Happy with the average.
Everyone's
Yeah, I'm
happy?
happy, and if we've got more, I'd like to give it more, because I think they're good community events, and the good thing about it is if everyone can go and it's free for kids, it's just. So the other thing, just on that, they need a bank account to hand money back. But, yeah,
It's on the way.
Okay, so we'll just leave that as it is and move on to the next one, Nikki.
Thanks. Next, we have Tirupu Manaki Aroha Incorporated for a series of family fun days. They're a first-time applicant and the costs would go towards venue hire, speakers, photographer, face painter, catering, and operational costs like a printer, toner, website domain, hosting, a basket cooker, bouncy castle, gas barbecue, and laptop. As I said, they're a first-time applicant. They're applying for $5,000 and your average came back at 1,625.
So I'll step
Thanks.
out.
Aye.
But
I'm the secretary of this whole group.
Thanks, Betsy. So, that average, I actually gave them a lot more than average, so maybe, that's just me and I'll speak to that. I just thought it was, yeah, it's an event. I took out, I gave them $4,000. I took out, least the bouncy castle, the photocopier and the computer because, yeah, well, we know what bouncy castle issues can cause. And a computer and a photocopier, yeah, they're nice haves, but usually if you're running a event, someone has those things. So, I actually think this average is quite low. But I will pass over to you, James.
Yeah, it's funny how it came out quite low, because I think I gave them more, anyway. But I do. Zero.
Yeah.
But I do, yeah, I talked about the printer, the computer, because you can do all of that stuff without those things. You can still run the event and it can still be successful, so I do believe that's a little bit low. And if we're supporting events like the whole amounts, we should be looking a little bit higher.
Rodney?
Mine was just, I was a bit concerned they're gonna buy a bouncy castle, being the horror stories that we got taught about bouncy castles. And do we wanna be involved in that? And the other one was kind of in the application, they said they're gonna run events in town, but doing geeky. I was thinking, are they just building up a, which is good, but are they building up a thing to move out of town, So that, but yeah, that was, I didn't get anything because I was sort of, that bouncy castle thing scared me a bit. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm happy if we, we give it some more to make it happen, but yeah, I'm a bit like you, they don't,
So, yeah, I mean,
some of the
like I
things they can sort
deducted
out.
those things off, and I think I gave $4,000, so I'd like to know, yeah, like, can we tweak that to 4? Like, we're readdressing everything, so don't look at the bottom figure yet.
Yeah,
Can we tweak it to 4, please? I'll go and grab that spot. Thanks, we'll just wait for Maxine to come back. Does everyone want a little break? Grab coffee or anything? Yes, so we'll just, we'll break at a June 5 minutes. So like a, yeah. Okay, welcome back, and I'll hand back to Nikki for our next application.
Kia ora. Next application is Project Kiwiana Committee for murals on planter boxes in the village green on the bakery wall. Costs will cover plywood, artist's fee, labour and paint. The committee were previously successful in round one of 22-23, and they received $5,000 for the Ōtorohanga Christmas parade. They are requesting $5,000 and your average came out at $3,750.
Cool, thanks Nikki. I'll open it up to the floor. Maxine?
Right. Okay. So who's gonna run that? Yeah.
That's an excellent question and
Do they know that?
very
I wonder?
correct,
Yeah.
yes.
The Ōtorohanga, the development board could apply for the Christmas parade.
Oh, okay, they can run it.
Yeah, so everyone's happy with the average.
Yeah.
My comment would be if we're gonna tweak anyway, because my comment would be probably up because the total project is $11,000 and it actually benefits anyone that comes into our town centre.
Yeah.
And amazing artist, Dan Gillespie. So, yeah, but everyone's happy with the average.
So what happens if we, so why don't we just put it straight up to the full amount now, and then we'll see what comes at the end.
Yeah, that's up to you. I'm not gonna,
Like,
if that's what you
but
want,
if it's-
yeah, if everyone's in agreement with that. We'll just leave it where it is at the moment. Okay, Nikki, hand back to you.
Next, we have the Ōtorohanga Men's Shed Incorporated. Their project is to buy a defibrillator unit, so a medical heart unit. They are a first-time applicant, and they have requested $3,293.91. Your average has come out at $3,220.45.
Thanks, Nikki. I personally think that it should be the full amount, but if everyone's in agreement with that, can you, yeah.
Yeah.
That one? Change it to the full amount, please. And then, yeah,
Yeah, I wonder what happened there.
and then I'll hand back to Nikki.
Our last application is from the Ōtorohanga Sports Club. They are requesting costs for insurance, the electric and gas bills. They were previously successful in round one of 22-23, where they received $5,000 for electric, gas and insurance, and $4,000 in round one of 21-22 for electric, gas and insurance. They're requesting $5,000 and your average came out at $2,875.
I'll open it up to the floor. Rodney, do you want to start?
Oh, my list is the full amount, but you know.
Yeah, my list was on, so.
That's right. Yeah.
Thoughts, Maxine? Yeah. So everyone's okay with the average, so we'll leave the average where it is. And here is our figures sitting at. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got it at, you are able to, you're under $356.29, so that's how much you can spend.
Okay, can we just quickly
Recap.
recap where everyone, what the amount are for everyone? So I think we need to think about who isn't gonna get their project over the line if they're underfunded. And maybe cutting some and adding some, yeah, okay. So we've definitely taken out the museum. Yep. Okay,
Madam Chair, would you like me to read out just,
the
applicant
person
and the line?
and the amount,
Cool.
yeah.
Assembly of God, 2,000. Ōtorohanga Christmas Club, 2,780.76. Janie Juhuro, 1,575. Central Motocross Incorporated, 1,500. Ōtorohanga Tennis Club, 2,125. Ōtorohanga Netball Club, 5,000. Ōtorohanga Squash Club, 500.
Stop. Yep, sorry, yeah.
Ōtorohanga Squash Club, 500. Toy Arena, 3,000. Unplugged Arcade, $1,201.86. Ōtorohanga Train Station Event, 2,550. Waikato Screen, 1,250.
Okay, how is everyone feeling about Waikato Screen? Like, they want $6,500 to run their event, they applied for 5,000, we're giving them 1,200. Realistically, can they run the event?
I'd shift it up to
Microphone.
I'd shift it up to the train station, you know,
So, yeah,
so then that would definitely happen for the community and.
Yep.
And I'd tell Men's Task Force to fund that one.
so could we zero Waikato Screen? Are you happy with that, Maxine? Yeah. Yep, and add that on to the train. Making a new total of. Sorry, Kathleen, sorry. Of the trains. Yeah,
3,800.
yeah, okay,
Good, looking good.
okay.
Just to confirm, so Ōtorohanga Train Station, 3,800. Waikato Screen, 0.
Couple.
We were up to, Te Hokinga Mai ki te Nihi Nihi Nui Utiwa Marae, 1,875.
Okay, so this is another one that needs discussion. The total cost of the project's $8,000. They've requested 5. We've only given them $1,875. Realistically, can they get it over the line?
I think they're better to miss out. Put it in our little back burner brains for the next round and then they reapply.
Just talking to one of
They will
the,
give them a bit more.
talking to one of the committee members and she's just saying they wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, with that. Well, we don't fund the full.
Yeah.
So can we change that one to 0?
Put that back up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Right, yeah. Train to.
That would take the train to 5,675, which is above,
Okay, so just take it to 5,
right.
obviously. We have surplus and we've got some surplus. That takes the surplus to 931.
That takes the surplus to 931.29.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Going ahead. Sorry.
We're jumping all over the shoes we get.
Very good.
We are up to Project Kiwiana Committee, 3,750. Ōtorohanga Men's Shed,
Okay, sorry. We've missed a couple. We're up to QQ. Yeah. School.
oh, geez. Oh, geez.
Sure.
QQ School, 3,750.
Yep.
Picnic and Pistons, 4,000. Te Rūpū Manaaki Aroha Incorporated, 4,000. Project Kiwiana, 3,750.
But how does everyone feel about putting that $900 to the mural?
You will do the Ōtorohanga Manaaki. That's quite right.
It's $4,000.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yep. Fine.
Sorry, can you remind me how much we added to Project Kiwiana?
$931.
It's 46812.
So we add Ōtorohanga Meat Shed, 3,293.91. And lastly, Ōtorohanga Sports Club, 2,875. That brings your total to 47,282.82, which is the amounts available.
So we're on that, man.
So is everyone happy with
We
where
are.
we've landed?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're gonna bring up.
There you go, lovely. How you doing?
So the grants and awards committee approved the applications as listed below from the Ōtorohanga Community Grants Fund and disperse the funds as listed to the successful applicants, making note to Te Rūpū Manaaki Aroha Incorporated that the 4,000 is not to be used for printer, computer or bouncy castle. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Oh, sorry, same. Jamie and Ferdinand. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the applicants.
And yeah, totally congratulations to all the applicants. That was huge with applicants totaling over $80,000 and only 47 to give out. Wow, it's a challenge to do it fairly. Regrettably, we weren't able to fully fund all applications and must do some full and partial and no funding in some cases. Yeah, but well done, guys. Huge.
Can I just add, sorry,
Sure can.
that the ones that we haven't funded, like Ōteo Marae, that we stay close, or somehow stay closely connected to them, that we support them to apply.
Absolutely. So through this whole process, it is about being open and warm and supportive during the whole process. So we will be emailing out all of the applicants with the amount that they were granted, and if they were unsuccessful, with helpful and constructive and supportive reasons why, and also assistance in the future with one of their other aspirations. So we've got that.
Thank you. Cool. And before we, before I ask Jamie to close with the karakia, I just really want to thank Nikki for the amazing and like, holy moly. I don't know if anyone is watching this video, but you know, this is what Nikki puts together for us. So thank you so
It's a
much.
pleasure. It's a real testament of how much energy and passion is out there, and that all of the amazing work that our people do.
Yeah, and just from me, Nikki, just a huge thank you, because it's massive, and I came on, like I said, I've said it before, to this committee, and it was arduous to read all of that, and now it's actually quite exciting to read it. It seems like lots, but it actually is awesome to read, and you know, I support you in all your mahi that you do, and it shows, because look how $80,000 we've been asked for, so yeah, Nikki. So, and I just want to thank everyone for coming out today and giving up your time for our community. It's always nice to see that we are able to give back to our communities like this. So, ngā mihi. kia tātou katoa, kia ta whai o tō tātou ari ki au karaiti, me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhinga taitanga, te wairua tapu, ake, āmene.
Oh, I declare the meeting closed. Thanks, guys.